But Mr. Mpofu, you know, you separating what he said in the affidavit and in his and all of that, it just gives me problems because I'm trying to summarize what his version is.
Well, all Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi said was the judiciary as an institution is implicated in drug dealing, in the cartels, in the money laundering or whatever the things. Now,
okay, all right.
okay.
Continue.
So this is what we are saying. We are saying that, Justice Tshiqi, let me make this graphic for you. We say on the facts of this case, for the first time in South Africa, a Lieutenant General says that after police investigations, they have found that the judiciary is involved in crime and corruption and all the things, the sordid things that Justice Mkhwanazi...
and the President's take on that is that it's highly unlikely that they would implicate judges of this court because criminal cases starts at the magistrates' court at a lower level and then perhaps the high courts. No. And then he says that when he decided to speak to the Chief Justice, he had this in mind that at least this court would not have been dealing with matters pertaining to criminal investigations and all of that.
Yeah. Firstly, the President never said that. That when he spoke to the Chief Justice, he had in mind that, he said he spoke to the Chief Justice about the identification of the judge. So he never said that. Let's be fair to him. Yeah.
In his heads of arguments, what does he say?
No, he says the following, which is an afterthought. It's what we call ex post facto rationalization. He now says that in any event, Justice Madlanga would be untainted by the accusation, by the Mkhwanazi accusations, because of what you've just said. Because criminal cases start in the magistrate. But so what? Criminal cases also come here.
But Mr. Mpofu, you know, you separating what he said in the affidavit and in his and all of that, it just gives me problems because no. I'm trying to summarize what his version is.
Well, I'm afraid, Justice Tshiqi, if I'm not allowed to correct what you are saying.
No, you are allowed.
The President did not say that he
are allowed.
Yeah, he never, I can assure you now, I've read these papers 1,000 times. The President of South Africa has never said that when he spoke to the Chief Justice, he did so because of that other thing that he says about the Constitutional Court cases. He never said that, to be fair to the President. So I was simply trying to explain that. If it's here, someone else will show it to me. But it is not here. The President says two things. He says, in identifying the judge, so I spoke to the Chief Justice to ensure what he calls the legitimacy and gravity of the commission, and therefore we agreed on the acting Deputy Chief Justice. He says that. In a different place, when he's now talking about the fact that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi implicated the judiciary, he then says, well, in any event, I am of the view, I'm reliably informed, something like that, that the Constitutional Court judges could not be covered in the he says, this is at page 81. There is no suggestion by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi of any impropriety at the level of the justices of the Constitutional Court. The allegations implicating members of the judiciary pertain to criminal proceedings. Where he gets that is I don't even know where he gets that. And and then here's the part. As far as I have been able to ascertain, that's the expression I was looking for. As far as I have been able to ascertain, none of the proceedings to which the allegations relate was ever referred to the Constitutional Court for adjudication. Well, this statement is fraught with illogicality. Firstly,
but who is saying this, Mr.?
It's the President of South Africa.
Yes, and when I was engaging you, I was summarizing what was in the founding affidavit and what is in the his. And I'm talking about a version here, and I'm not quoting verbatim.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you are right, Justice Tshiqi. But the point I'm making is this. Let's look at it. Let's look at it on its terms. Let's look at it on its terms, not worry about whether it was linked to the Chief Justice or not. Let's forget about that. Let's look at it now on its terms at paragraph 27. I'm saying this thing is fraught. Yeah, it's fraught. Sorry. It's fraught with illogicality, Justice Tshiqi, as follows. You can't come for the first time in your answering affidavit and say that there's no suggestion in Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi of any impropriety at the level of the justices of the Constitutional Court. Where does that come from? Justice Madlanga, who's part of the Judiciary, all Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi said was, he never said judges in the magistrate court, in the high court, in the SCA, in what he said, the judiciary as an institution is implicated in drug dealing, in the cartels, in the money laundering or whatever the things. Now, let me say this very clear. I am sitting here, now I'm speaking for myself. I do not believe that those allegations, cover the entire judiciary at West. It would be ridiculous. But that's not the point. The point is this, Justice Tshiqi. The institution, and the President uses that word, by the way, in his announcement, or rather in the terms of reference. The institutions that have been accused include the judiciary. Now picture this, Justice Tshiqi, in your own mind. We are in a court of law. Complainant is Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. And he says, the accused are the Metro Police, the Judiciary, the correctional services, politicians, and so on. They're lining up here. And you then say, one of the accused must go and be the judge. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You look like an accused.
For now, let me allow my colleagues. Let me allow my other colleagues to pose their questions. If there's a burning question, I feel
yes.
I need to ask you.
Maybe then, Justice Tshiqi.
I'll ask that.
Yes, thank you. Can I just take advantage of the fact that we touched on the JSC thing so that I just complete that point? Yes. So the point about the Nemo Udex, which is an obvious principle of our law, that you can't be the judge in your own way, you can't be an accused and can't be a referee and a player, as people would say in the street. It's a simple concept of law. So that's the first thing. But we then go further and we say that in any event, even if this was not even if this was a non-judicial commission, so to speak, and we know we've had those. We had the TRC had a bishop as a chair. The Muarane Commission had an advocate as a chair, and so on. So there's nothing that compels the president to have a judge. But we say even if this was we say even if this was a non-judicial commission, it would be problematic for a second reason, which is that you would be imbuing that commission. Let's, for argument's sake, call it now the Muarane Commission, not the Matlanga Commission. You would be imbuing that commission with the power to investigate the conduct of judges. Okay? That function is constitutionally and exclusively preserved for the JSC. So you cannot usurp the powers, for all the reasons that we know, to preserve the independence of the judiciary and so on and so on. You can't now have a new entity called the Madlanga Commission or the Muarane Commission or whatever commission for that matter, or the My Nature Commission. You can't have that commission investigating the conduct of judges, because there are constitutional reasons why that function is specifically preserved for the JSC or the Magistrates Commission. So that's a second reason, assuming we're wrong about the first one of Nemo Iudex. But those two, so please, nobody must say we're saying there should be no commission. We might think it, or the public might think it, but we're saying that in this part, on these facts, a judicial commission, when the judiciary is one of the accused, is constitutionally inappropriate. Thank you. Sorry.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank you.
Thanks.